battle.
Oh man, yeah, he's a bit of a douche. Speaking of douches, so here he is. Mourinho able to lead Roma in clash with Juventus after appeal. So if you guys don't know, he got a two-match ban. It was appealed, and I guess because who was it? The ref? It says here. I think the ref has not yet testified for the appeal. So they've decided, okay, not everyone's testified. So yeah, you can totally just go back to the match in against Juventus. So again, yeah, a new hearing has been set for March 10th, conveniently, right? This is one I start to put on the tinfoil hat a bit, because does it not just seem really fishy? Or am I just being biased because I'm a Juventus fan? What do you guys think about this?
I really don't care. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I'd rather have Mourinho there when we slap him, just because then I get to see Mourinho bitch in the post.
And there's that. Yes, I thought about that. And it usually, it usually bites you in the ass afterwards.
Yeah. So, for me, it's more entertaining because, like, Mourinho will be like, he'll think of something else. He's like, oh man, the grass is green and I don't like the grass. So, I told Chiellini to do something and Chiellini give me a red card. Like, I prefer not to speak. That's what I'll say on that one. But yeah, it's stupid. I don't care. Personally, I'd rather. There's two people I want to see cry tomorrow: Jose Mourinho and Paulo Dybala. Like, that's all I care about. Like,
well, it's not hard to make him cry. Let's be honest.
It clearly isn't. All you got to do is just flick Dybala. But it's stupid. I think the whole like appeal process and how it is, it's stupid. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. Like, I'd rather just beat Mourinho, no excuses or anything like that. Because if we when we win tomorrow, they're going to be like, oh, well, Jose Mourinho wasn't there. Like, shut up. We're better than them. They play worse football than Allegri ball.
Speaking of Allegri, he does say here in his presser, I hope Mourinho is able to take his place on the bench tomorrow. He's doing a great job at Roma, leading them into battle for a place in the Champions League. Probably because Allegri just wants to smash him twice.
Hey, yo.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Yeah, it was 4-3. It wasn't smashing. It was exciting, though. It was good. It was good. And we want to do it again in their house.
And again.
Burn it down. Yeah, the Court of Appeal is made up of Napoli and Roma fans. We have seen their social networks, and Torcello is a Roma fan. Nothing new. And that's part of that. That's where the tinfoil hat comes into play, right? They are so obviously biased in how they conduct themselves that you have to wonder when shit like this happens.
Yeah, I think it's dumb. Do you want, because I've got the Allegri presser. Do you want me to talk about that?
Yeah, get into the presser.
Alrighty, cool. Going into the Juve Roma pregame, pre-conference, post-conference, news conference of conferences. Allegri is being asked about Roma's season. So Allegri responds with, Roma are having a very great season and are fighting for the Champions League spot. Bums. He says, also, they're coming into a game with 4 home wins without conceding a goal. It's going to be a great match. And then they ask him about Paul Pogba. And he says, Pogba has reacted well to coming back. He's doing fine, even though he has not had much playing time. I'm happy with how he did against Torino. Milik will be back after the international break. And Kyle George, yes, he's still on the roster, will not be available, but Moretti will return. And then the other question is so, Allegri, how do you feel about tomorrow? He says, tomorrow is important because it will be a great challenge against Roma. We must put the past matches behind us, and we'll see how the season develops. And then this is asking about Paredes because, Enzo benched his ass. So he says, Paredes is doing well. We'll assess things tomorrow. Locatelli will be back. They're all available. And Baranchea, I think I pronounced that right.
Yeah.
Who had a great match the other day, is also there. So he is also included in the squad, boys and girls. Sorry, Ellie. And then he says, we have matches every 4 days, so everyone will be crucial. And then this is, again, kind of asking, how do you feel about Mourinho? He says Mourinho is doing a great job making Roma fight for a Champions League spot. I hope he is on the touchline. So he's saying, I want Mourinho there because, those two are match made in heaven. So then he's being asked about Di Maria. So then he says, Di Maria has been playing well in all of our recent games, regardless of how many minutes. It's important to assess how he's done so far. As for Dybala, he was a big player for Juventus, but he's at Roma too. We'll face him knowing what he can do. He's like, Dybala who? Allegri is asked about the Champions League spots. It'd be very difficult to qualify for the UCL, almost impossible, but the team have picked up 50 points out there. I love how he says 50. And we must continue getting results. We need to take it one step at a time. It will be a huge undertaking to achieve with the deduction. That essentially wraps up the news conference.
Yep.
So speaking of the points, interesting thing, guys, because we had a bunch of crazy results today. So Napoli lose to Lazio. Lazio go to second with 47 points. Milan loses to Fiorentina away 2-1. And Atalanta tie Udinese. So
Yeah.
Milan is in that fourth spot at 47 points. I think it's 47. Yeah. Dave's got the table. But so here's what makes this a lot very, very interesting. So with the current points that are dropped and the fact that we're playing Roma tomorrow, so with a win, we go to 38 points and we essentially are 9 points away from fourth place.
And only 4 out of Conference League at that point as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Conference League.
So just for the folks that don't know, after the Coppa Italia, essentially 5th and 6th become Europa League places, and then 7th becomes the Conference League qualifier.
Yeah. So technically, we are in the conference.
Yeah, we're technically in Europe if how things go. But again, guys, we were like 10th or 11th when that deduction hit us, and we've climbed our way back. We're 9 points. So again, about 13 games left. We're 9 points away from fourth place, which is pretty incredible. And then, if those 15 points come back and Napoli Napoli start losing form, you never know. Because the reason is so if we win again, you get the 15 points, we're at 50 points, we win 53 points, 65 to 53. You start, it's 12 points, but you start cooking a little bit, but you never know.
Most interesting thing for me right now is Lazio beating Napoli and moving into second place now over both the Milans. Like everyone's trash bagging it this season.
Well, here's the funny thing is like Sarri played like the most anti-football of football and won out of pure like luck. Like that Vecino goal was like just pure filth. Like you're just like, I remember watching that. I was watching the game with my dad, and like we see that shot go off, and we're like what the hell was that? Like that? But yeah. If anybody's gonna play Napoli, just study how Lazio played against them.
So yeah, Ellie's saying here, unless Fiorentina or Cremonese win the Coppa, yeah. And then Gaetano, if Inter win the Italian Cup, the 7th in the standings, go to the Conference League, but let's hope that Inter doesn't win. Yeah, so those are the what ifs. So not for sure, but as things typically play out, if you put your bets on, the big teams winning, and now Cremonese or Fiorentina, you put your money on hopefully Juve or Inter to win those. But of course, you never know.
All right. So moving on to the game itself. Again, 2:45 tomorrow. We'll be on the Twitch channel covering it, Juventus Twitch. So check us out there if you guys want to do a watch along with us. And then, so the one thing, and this is my biggest concern for the Roma game, and it's not a player and it's not a coach. It is the turf of the Stadio Olimpico. This was something that I found interesting was because the past few times that we've played there have been ACL injuries. Last year with Chiesa, and then I believe the previous bout, Demiral tore his ACL there. Their turf is terrible. Like, out of a lot of the Serie A turfs, the Stadio Olimpico is probably one of the worst pitches. I mean, it's essentially destroyed Zaniolo like twice, 3 times technically. My thing is this, guys. I really hope that we're able to get through this game without any injuries, just because I just don't like that turf, and that turf always causes issues. Yeah. So, again, for me, the main thing is hopefully everyone is healthy. But going off the lineup, which obviously isn't accurate because they have DeCilio there, so it's probably going to switch DeCilio for Juan Cuadrado. But again, 3-5-2. It's going to be Danilo, Bremer, and Sandro. No other reason why not to play those 3. Cuadrado as a right wing back. Fagioli, really good season, man. Finally secured that starting spot on the right part of the midfield. Locatelli will be playing behind him, which I wouldn't be surprised if Enzo subs Locatelli at some point of the game. With Rabiot, that's on the left.
And then Pogba coming in for Rabiot then, still getting some
probably
minutes?
I would assume so. Or he might go. I don't know who Pogba would sub in for. That's interesting. And then Kostic, and this was what the answer Gaetano's question is. Allegri is leaning the starting Kostic and using Chiesa as a sub. So that's one thing that has been pretty confirmed. Gaetano says, I think Wijnaldum can play. He might. I forgot he's on the roster. Dude snapped his leg.
Where? He's not on this roster at all. Let's see. Nothing.
He's not injured, but I'm surprised they don't show their bench. But
yeah, they don't on the pregame. That's right. It's weird.
And then Helicopter says Di Maria won't start tomorrow. Huh. It might be Vlahovic and Keane. Because from what I've heard I heard Chiesa isn't going to start tomorrow. From Agresti, where he said about that, Allegri said that Kostic is trending to be above Keane or Chiesa.
You know, we never know.
Yeah, we never know. And to be honest with you, I actually prefer having Chiesa and Pogba come in as a substitute.
That worked well last week, of course.
Yeah, it did. Just because, again, it's like, oh, crap. But moving to Roma. So Roma's going to be playing something quite similar. So they're going to be a 3-4-2-1. So you have Ibanez, Smalling, and Mancini as their back three. And then you have Spina, Zola. And then you have Matic, Cristante, Zalaski, Pellegrini, Tammy Abraham, and Scumbag Allah.
So I should know Pellegrini is actually an F. They don't know for
he's
sure.
Questionable?
Yeah. Very questionable at this point, apparently.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he scores against us. He's the one guy that I'd be worried about.
Yeah, he's the only guy I'd be afraid of.
He's the one that beautiful spot kick there.
Yeah. Free kick. He's honestly the perfect midfielder.
He's great. Yeah, he's one of the best, probably all-around midfielders in the league.
Yeah.
A little underrated because he plays for Roma, but no, he's great.
Yeah. So kind of looking at the statistics, so Roma scored 31 goals, conceded 21, goal differential of +10. Juventus, we have scored 40 goals and only conceded 19. So overall, really, really good stats.
2-1.
Offensively, I think we're fourth in the league currently as far as, yeah. So if we're looking at like the Juve Roma, like just some fun match stats for the pregame, guys, offensively, like compared to last season, offensively, we're looking really good. So we're at 1.7 goals per match. We've got the most clean sheets in the competition with 15. Juventus haven't lost to Roma in their last 5 meetings, 3 wins, 2 draws. Roma's ranked 8th in goals scored per match, 1.3. Ranked 4 in goals conceded per match, 0.9. So pretty good defense. Tammy Abraham has the most shots on target for Roma, which is 1.4 shots per match. That is not good. Oh, you're looking at the...
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through just for some eye candy. People want to look at it. I know a lot of people just listen, but if they got the screen up, it just gives you something else to look at.
Yeah. But again, Juventus defensively better than Roma. They're third, or we're third, they're fourth. Clean sheets, Roma has 9 to our 15. Expected goals, 38. I don't know what that stat is, but it doesn't really make too much sense for me. If we're looking at big chances created, they actually have 3 more big chances created, 46 to our 43. Overall, I think it's a good game, but again, Mourinho likes to play pretty negative tactically as far as that. Right now, technically, Dybala is their best player with 8 goals and 6 assists. So he is the main guy. But as we all know, if we look at Dybala's track record this season, Dybala only scores or does stuff when he's playing against the bottom half of the table. And this is kind of funny because, Dave, if you actually click his personal stats, so look at it. So his best games are against Salzburg, Lecce, Empoli, Spezia, Fiorentina, Genoa. And
that's it. So yeah.
So
which he kind of did the same thing. Okay, yeah, he had some big moments in some big games, but generally speaking,
yeah, Dybala shines against the lower half team. So that's definitely something that hasn't changed about Paulo. Personally, I don't think Paulo really does anything against us. And even that assist that he gave Tammy Abraham in the first match that we played them at home, God, that was such a lucky bounce. In my opinion, that was a cheesy bounce. That went.
Yeah, there's a bit of luck to that.
But if Lorenzo Pellegrini Yusuf, I just tuned in. Where's Dash's beard? Wow. I didn't realize, that's the funny thing is, I accidentally clicked it off for you. Sorry, Dave. That is funny because like everyone, I think it's almost everybody that's come in at some point is like, where's the beard? Why is it gone? I lost a bet and I had to shave it. No, I'm just kidding. Beard health. You got to shave your beard every now and then just to help the hair follicles regrow and stuff. So don't worry. It'll be back by like Monday. My beard grows fast. So don't worry, guys. Mr. Beard will be back. But moving on to the serious conversation here. But Roma defensively are a pretty solid team. I'm not going to sit here and say Roma's terrible defensively. They're a Jose Mourinho team. Jose Mourinho teams have pretty good defensive records. The thing about Jose Mourinho teams is if they don't have great counterattackers, their offense is not that good. And if we look at, like, for example, if Dave would be so kind to pour some of Roma's previous fixtures, outside of a select few, you might want to just go back. And yeah, by the way, Roma did give Cremonese their first win in Serie A too. So lol.
Yeah. And
losers.
And there's Spinazzola scoring. As Ali says, I would watch out for him. Yeah, he's pretty dynamic there, assuming his knee doesn't buckle in on himself.
Yeah, I was going to say if he doesn't tear his other Achilles. But that's the thing about Spinazzola. I still don't think he has the same danger that he did previously. Can you click the left arrow there? Awesome. So if we look at some of the results as well. So I wonder what is it if you go down the more recent ones. So if you look at Salzburg, so the Europa League, they get a 2-0 win against Salzburg. They win 1-0 against Hellas Verona. They lost the first game against Salzburg, tied against Lecce 1-1, 2-0 against Empoli, lost to Cremonese in the Coppa, lost to Napoli 2-1, beat Spezia 2-0. A lot of 2-0, 1-0 goal lines. Again, Roma's a great team. There's no credit to be taken away from Roma. I think they're a pretty good team. I think the only thing is if you look at a lot of their wins, that their wins are essentially dependent on Dybala. If Dybala shows up, they do well. If Dybala doesn't show up, they're stuck. And us as Juventini, I think we know Paolo quite well. You throw Paolo in a big game where you have a bunch of defenders man marking him, or like, for example, you put Rabiot on Dybala, I think Dybala does nothing. I think Rabiot pockets Dybala quite well. Yeah. And I think that's what Allegri's going to do. Because let's be honest, guys, what's Dybala's biggest weakness? Physical players. You put a physical player on him, Dybala essentially gets pocketed. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this clip of our pregame show. To check the full unedited clip, go on to the YouTube channel and click the video in itself, and it'll probably be in the description here as well. Thanks, guys. This is Editor Dash, and we'll catch you on the next one.